Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your reading for the first week of December 2022. My name is Gabrielle, and this is going to be a reading looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future. As you can see, the way that I do readings is I've gone ahead and already pulled out the oracle cards for your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, and I've clarified those. I have a tarot deck that I'll be pulling from, as well as I will use my clarifying deck as well. Let's go ahead and get started. In your recent past, you are good enough with the world card in reverse. Before I jump into what I feel like this specifically means, the vibe I'm getting for this reading overall is that this is about letting go a little bit of the material world and believing a little bit more in your intuition. Now, I say that because of what you have in your current energy and because of a couple of cards that popped out whenever I was pre-shuffling the deck. But in your recent past, what I see is that there was some struggle with your self-worth, and this struggle with your self-worth has been going on for a while. It's a cycle that's been happening in your life, meaning not believing you're good enough or talented enough or capable enough, whatever it is. This is a general reading, so it's just going to kind of depend on how it resonates with you. But there's some sort of a cycle that's trying to complete here that has to do with you learning that you are good enough. In your current energy, you have balanced spirituality and practicality with the Temperance card in reverse. It's interesting because this literally means a lack of balance. So this is the card that really made me kind of, when I pulled it, I was a little bit interested in what it was meaning playing into these other cards, because it's not necessarily, to me, it's a card of balancing your intuition with what you see right in front of you. You know, a lot of times our circumstances aren't telling the truth, and we see things through the lens of our insecurity. And so if you are in a place where you are currently struggling with believing that you are good enough, you might be seeing your circumstances in a way through that lens that makes you feel like, oh, that's just another reason for me to believe that I'm not good enough. But what this card is saying is that right now you're focusing too much on what you see and not what you feel within. And that's why I feel like there's this imbalance between, honestly, ultimately, your head and your heart, but also it's like your mental and physical world in a way. And we'll get so much more detail on that as well. In your immediate future, you have be bold and make the first move with the Queen of Wands in reverse. Now, the way that I'm reading this, again, this has already been a really interesting reading and kind of complicated in a way, because it's almost like you want to take action towards something, or are planning to take action towards something, or have been taking action towards something, or something in that world. um but with the Queen of Wands in reverse, there's been a lot of self-doubt in taking action, either in taking action in this thing, or you're needing to take action regardless of the self-doubt that you're currently having. So a lot to be clarified here. We will go ahead and jump in and start looking, Pisces, at your recent past. All right. Recent past for Pisces, clarifying you are good enough. There's some sort of cycle. I just feel like it's a cycle of you not believing in yourself, or believing that you deserve more or better or something to that extent. Four of Wands in reverse with the Sun in reverse. Okay. This is kind of a hard truth that I've been having to talk about in a lot of readings this week, actually. And it's the biggest thing is, per the law of attraction, we create our surroundings, our circumstances, based on what we believe. Now, you can think of this in the realm of psychology, or you can think about it in the realm of spirituality, saying that what we think about becomes our belief system, and that belief system becomes our action, and those actions then become our circumstances. They become our reality. In a spiritual sense, you can say, what we believe is what we end up manifesting into this world, but our belief system is the key, because what we believe is what we eventually create. Whether, like I said, whether you want to think of that on a psychological standpoint or from a spiritual standpoint. But what I'm seeing with the Four of Wands in reverse and the Sun card in reverse is that things in your world aren't as bad as you think they are. And this is your recent past. So for me, this is kind of saying this is almost the lesson that you're currently learning right now, is that you have had a tendency in your past to believe that things look worse than they are. And a lot of that if not all of that, comes from your belief system, because you have the sun in reverse here, and then you have the Queen of Wands right underneath that, which, remember, you're showing up as the Queen of Wands here too. So what I'm seeing is there's this energy of just not believing. It's almost like needing to shift your focus to more positive thoughts. Or at least that's kind of been what you've been experiencing recently, is your world, your circumstances have been feeling negative, but a lot of that is because of what you're thinking and therefore believing. I hope this is making sense. All right. Another one for recent past for Pisces. Oh, goodness. I don't want to pull that one because it didn't turn over on its own. Recent past for Pisces. Okay, okay, perfect. That makes so much sense. 3 of Wands with the 3 of Swords in reverse. You might have felt in your recent past, and honestly, I still kind of feel a little bit in your current energy as well, that you're in almost like this waiting period. It could be like a limbo period. Like things just kind of feel like there's something that you're taking action toward eventually, right? As we have here with Be Bold to Make the First Move. But right now, or at least in your recent past, it's just kind of felt like you're in this limbo period. But you have this 3 of Swords in reverse here, and then you have the Ace of Swords underneath that. So what I'm seeing, and then the 6 of Cups. Okay, so what this is saying is right now is a time for healing. And with the 3 of Swords and then the Ace of Swords underneath that, the Ace of Swords meaning like mental clarity, it's a time for healing. It's that mindset. It's that mindset that keeps kind of popping up. And that mindset of, you know, viewing things in a negative light. Now, with the 6 of Cups here, it has to do with your past. So if you're viewing things, our expectations are created by what we've experienced. If we are expecting things to turn out in a negative way, that's because that's what we've experienced. If you are starting a new relationship or starting a new job or thinking about doing those things, and you're like, well, I don't feel like I'm ready, or this isn't happening for me yet, even though I want it to happen for me yet. It's because you're not quite ready for it to happen, because you're still going into this with the expectation on some level that it's not going to work out for you. And that expectation within itself can become a belief, and that belief can become your reality. So the universe is essentially saying, listen, if you want what you want, which you are needing to take action toward that. If you want this thing, this job, this relationship, it could be both, it could be, something completely different. You've got to heal the reasons why you believe that you don't deserve good things, because you do deserve good things. So right now is a healing period. With the 3 of Swords in reverse, this is letting go of heartbreak. This is releasing the idea that heartbreak is a part of your reality. Just because things didn't happen a certain way in the past, it doesn't mean that those things didn't work out for you. It meant that you were needing to adjust your mindset and your viewpoint on things so that you can get to a point where you can move forward with a more positive, optimistic, just, in general, just believing in yourself a little bit more kind of mindset. All right, let's get one more for Pisces recent past. One more for Pisces recent past. There's that. Okay, so you have the 4 of Cups in reverse. I was trying to figure out which way felt right. It would make more sense straight up. No, okay, that makes sense. 4 of Cups in reverse with the Ace of Swords in reverse. You are, in your recent past, we're dealing with a lack of mental clarity. I mean, we just saw this Ace of Swords upright, right? But in reverse for this specific message. The 4 of Cups, it, in a way, is kind of like my fit throwing card. Now, when I say that, I don't mean you are throwing a fit or you're acting like a child or anything like that. That's not at all what I'm saying. When I think of the 4 of Cups, especially in reverse, I think of focusing too much on needing things to go your way. And just because things don't go your way, you start to believe that that means that they're not working out for you. And in reality, everything is always happening for you, not to you. Sometimes it just takes time to be able to look back and see the clarity of that. So that's what I'm seeing right now is, in your recent past, something didn't work out for you. It could have been a few things. It could have felt like everything in your life wasn't working out for you. And the universe kind of had to sit you down and say, listen, you have manifested a lot of these outcomes into your life based on your own mindset and belief system. And you're in the phase right now of learning to heal that with the balance, spirituality, and practicality. It's balance what you see right in front of you with what is actually possible, because your circumstances right now can change like that. Meaning you have the ability, and that's the cool thing, right? If you think like, okay, I manifested my circumstances based on my belief system being negative. Well, the cool thing is that means that you can manifest them in a positive way by learning to be positive. Focusing on gratitude, making sure that you're, switching yourself from dwelling too much on what you don't have versus what you do have, and really, really trying to become more confident. Yes, of course, in what's ahead in the future in general, but in what you deserve, Pisces, because a lot of times we end up losing things in our life because we push them away because we don't feel we deserve them. All right. Let's look at your current energy. Dang, this is a whole therapy session, huh? Current energy for Pisces. King of Swords in reverse with the Judgment. Okay. And that's kind of exactly what I was saying. With the King of Swords in reverse and this Judgment card, your mind, your thoughts are blocking you from seeing the truth of some situation here. You are so in your head about something, possibly everything, that you're not able to see through the illusion of fear and frustration and doubt. And so that's where I see this balance, spirituality, and practicality with that lack of balance card. It's like it doesn't mean, one of my favorite concepts in just kind of healing in general is learning to not believe everything you think and feel, because your thoughts are based on your experiences. We just talked about this. Your expectations are created based on what you've experienced. If you've experienced failed relationships, failed career paths, if you've experienced all that in the past, you're going to expect that moving forward unless you heal it. And to heal these things, you have to feel them. And what I feel like is happening right now is you're not allowing yourself to process the way that you need to. You're trying to overthink everything. And you feel, honest, to a certain level that, by overthinking everything, you can prepare yourself for every potential outcome. That's never going to happen, right? There are a unlimited number of ways that things can go well, and an unlimited number of ways that things can, go not so well, and you will never ever guess which is going to be what the outcome. And so what I'm seeing, you have the Knight of Swords in reverse underneath that as well. It's and then the Queen of Pentacles. So it's almost like your stability, your material stability, be that in love, in your career, whatever it is, your finances, your stability is currently being blocked by your mind. Because right now you are putting out this energy into the universe of, I believe that things aren't going to work out. Whether or not you realize that you are, that's exactly what you're doing. Now, one of my favorite books is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It really dives into the ins and outs of the law of attraction. It's actually what really put me on a spiritual path. And the reason that I love that book so much is it breaks down the law of attraction in just digestible ways. And one of the things that it says is, when people discover the law of attraction, when they start to realize that their thoughts do manifest their reality, they start to get really worried and scared about all of the negative thoughts that they have had. But one of the biggest aspects of this is your intention is the power. So if you are intentionally putting out positive energy and saying, I am intentionally trying to be grateful, I'm intentionally trying to be positive, then what you're doing is that power behind your intention is creating more positive energy. Now, a lot of times our negative thoughts and our negative beliefs, those are just kind of on autopilot, because like I said, it's our subconscious. It's what we've built a habit on based on our experiences. And so don't think that, oh my gosh, how in the world am I going to manage every single one of my thoughts? That's not what I'm saying here. And this also isn't talking about toxic positivity. If things suck right now, then things suck. And they, that doesn't mean that you're not allowed to feel that way, that you're not allowed to feel the emotions that you're feeling. But what it does mean is that you can't take your reality right now and say, oh, this is just how things are always going to be. You have to get to a point where you can say, things suck right now, and that sucks. But if things, because the world works like this, every up comes with a down, every down comes with an up, that means that things can only get better. And so what I'm seeing here is you're kind of getting yourself stuck in a negativity spiral. And that negativity spiral needs to be broken by some sort of daily practice is what I'm seeing here. Maybe you have one. And if you do, then really, really, dive into that. And you have the Ace of Swords again with the Five of Pentacles. And so what I'm seeing is you, Pisces, have experienced so much loss in your life. It doesn't necessarily even have to be like big losses, but just changes and feeling like you've had to constantly start over and new beginnings. And when you finally feel like something's going well, that starts to break down. And I feel like that loss has really blocked you from being able to see what it is that you truly deserve. Because there's that Judgment card again. There's that truth. You're not able to see the truth of your situations because you're so focused on what it is that you've lost. And that's a very, very human thing. That's not anything to be hard on yourself about. And this isn't just a Pisces thing either. This is a human being thing. But there's a need to really, kind of focus on the fact that just because you've lost things in the past or just because things didn't work out for you in the past, that does not mean that that's how things are always going to be. Current energy for Pisces. I don't know why I'm talking so much in this reading. Page of Pentacles in reverse with the Tower in reverse. There is an opportunity, and I feel like it's this opportunity that you need to take action toward in your immediate future that you currently are not quite ready for. With the Tower in reverse, there's a little bit of avoidance going on. And I feel like it's avoidance of processing your past. This has been a big theme in all my readings this week. Needing to really process the loss that you have had. And almost to a certain extent, kind of try to find how you could have faced that with a different mindset in order for things to turn out differently. But then on the flip side, I also feel like you should kind of, get real with yourself and say, did I even really want that thing? Or did I just think that that thing was going to make me happy in the end? Because what I see is, when you focus so much on your circumstances, you're thinking, oh, my circumstances are what make you happy, or what are going to make me happy. When in reality, that's not it, right? It's as above, so below, as within, so without. It's what you create up here. It's what you create inside of you that creates your external world. Your external world is never going to make you happy. Your internal world has to be happy first so that is then reflected into your experiences. All right. Immediate future for Pisces. Immediate future. Ooh. Okay. Immediate future for Pisces. Ooh, I like that. The Five of Swords in reverse with the Ten of Pentacles, and then the Five of Cups in reverse underneath that. Your immediate future is a lot of letting go of your me against the world mentality. You believing that everything that you have in your life or everything that you want in your life has come because you've struggled for it. You don't have to struggle to be happy, Pisces. Now, you might have felt that way because that's what you've experienced, but you don't. You have the Ten of Pentacles. You have your long-term stability here. I do feel like it's a little bit in reverse, meaning that it's you have the possibility to have it, but there's a little bit of being unrealistic about the path to get there. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not possible. And it doesn't mean that the path to get there is unrealistic. It means that you're focusing. So it goes back to focusing so much on things going your way. Just because things haven't turned out exactly like you think they should doesn't mean they're not working out. It just means that they're not going exactly the way that you thought they should, even though they're going the way that they, ultimately should. So your immediate future is a lot about letting go of your you against the world mentality and really trying to just heal. I mean, this is a big reading for healing. This feels like a tough love kind of reading, honestly. Page of Swords with Page of Cups. I like this. The pages to me really represent kind of childlike energy, innocence in a way. And it's almost like needing to get back both to your innocence when it comes to the way you think and the way that you feel. Because I feel like the world got to you, and maybe the world got to you pretty young. And so you've spent a lot of your life feeling that struggle and frustration and pain and heartbreak and everything, is just kind of the way things have to be. When in reality that's not true. I just feel like it's like almost getting back to that part of you that believed that anything was possible. Because I feel like you've been struggling to be that, optimistic for a while. And for a reason, right? Because of what you've experienced. This isn't me saying, oh, Pisces, you've created all of your problems and all of your problems are your fault. Absolutely not. That's not the way things work, right? Your trauma is never your fault. It is, however, your responsibility to heal from it so that you don't repeat cycles because of it. One more immediate future for Pisces. Kind of an intense read, Pisces. Oh, goodness. The Hierophant, the Lovers. See, that's a good ending. I mean, this just looks like, okay, I can, there's a couple of things that I could read this message as. Everything that I've been talking about is because of some sort of a failed marriage. Or this is about coming into union with yourself. And that's really how I want to read that. This is about, and it doesn't just have to be a marriage, but a serious relationship of some sort, but ultimately just really coming into realizing that you are all you need. You're all you need. You don't need anything in this world to make you happy. That doesn't mean you can't have things that do make you happy and that don't, that add to your happiness. But the things in this world aren't supposed to complete your happiness. It's supposed to complement your happiness. And I feel like there's been a lot of looking to different people or different situations to complete your happiness instead of complement it. And when you find that happiness within yourself, that's when you really truly are allowed to, or not allowed, but able to set yourself free, because you're no longer relying on your circumstances to make you happy. You're already happy, and your circumstances just kind of become a bonus. All right. We're going to clarify these real quick. This has already been a really long reading. But we're going to clarify, see if there's any additional messages in here. Let's look at recent past for Pisces. Oh, already. Ace of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Hermit in reverse. Pisces, you've kind of been isolating a little bit. But that was supposed to happen. You have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It's kind of what I felt, with the waiting period, the Three of Wands that we felt here. Things just kind of came to a standstill. It was like, I feel like there was something you needed to take action towards. Ooh, we haven't clarified that yet. I got too caught up in the messages. I haven't clarified exactly what it is. We'll get there. I see that because right now, this is about coming back to your passion. I feel like you've been investing in a lot of things from a place of necessity, or feeling like I have to have this or do this because I need this, not because you want it. And that's why I kind of mentioned, really thinking about things that didn't work out for you and saying, did I really want that? Or did I just think I needed that to be happy? And making sure that you're getting right with yourself about what it is you really want. Same Tower in reverse, we had some sort of an avoidance. And that's why they're in this waiting period, or we're in this waiting period, was needing to kind of face a lot of the emotions and the not so great feelings around some sort of a situation. During that time, things probably felt pretty unstable. Financially too, you could have felt unstable financially. Something could have happened that took away your financial stability, or just kind of in general your material stability was financial. Remember, this is a general reading, so I can only read for the masses. Let's get one more for your recent past, Pisces. The Knight of Wands. This is the same one that we saw. This is Oh goodness, the Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I was confused there for a second. With the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse, what I'm seeing is, I mean, it goes back to this lack of passion, but it also is almost like this fear of taking risks toward things you deserve. And it could be fear of loss, fear of, because of what you've experienced in the past, or fear of, who knows, but it's almost like fear of taking risks and realizing that that's all in your head. All in your head. It's almost like, and that's what I just keep hearing over and over, is like, stop believing everything you think and feel. Your thoughts aren't a truth. They're feedback. They let you know what your, fears and insecurities and what needs to be healed are, but they don't tell you the truth. They're not telling you what's like right or wrong. Okay, current energy for Pisces. This is a very in-depth, complex reading, and I knew it was going to be as soon as I pulled those cards out in the beginning. Current energy for Pisces. There's that instability. And the same Page of Pentacles in reverse that we saw too, right here. You have this Page of Pentacles in reverse and you have it again. It's like there's this opportunity that you're ready, or that you're wanting, but with this Four of Pentacles in reverse, you're wanting this opportunity to be your stability. You're wanting this to be your reason for being stable. You've got to find your own stability first. This is the same Four of Pentacles in reverse we saw over here. Another thing that I'm seeing is like a feeling is like this inability to be vulnerable, to really truly open up and be honest with yourself and others. I don't know why that's coming out, but that's why I feel like there's this avoidance of emotion almost in a way. I don't know, but I mean, it's obvious that there's this opportunity, right? You have this Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's something that's for you, something that you very much want, something that you very much can take action towards in your future. But you've got to get to a point where you're not leaning on this thing to be your stability. This thing is just a complement to your life. Current energy for Pisces. And I feel like you're learning that now, because you do have this Ace of Swords. You have this Two of Swords with a Strength card. It's almost like things are going to be in a standstill until you find your confidence. I mean, that's what this whole reading started to be about, right? Is that you are good enough. This whole reading is about you learning that you deserve more than what you've settled for. We accept what we think we deserve, right? And you deserve so much more than that. So much more than you think you do. It's like there's the Devil in, okay, I understand now. You have that same Queen of Swords in reverse with the Devil in reverse. It's releasing your attachment to this thing. You're attached to this thing because you think that this thing provides you stability. And I don't know what it is. It could be a job, a person, who knows, right? But this thing doesn't provide you stability. This thing isn't your stability. You're your stability. This thing is just a complement to your life. You just don't realize that yet. And that's what this whole thing is trying to teach you. That's what these losses you've incurred is trying to teach you, that you don't need anything to be happy. You can find that happiness within you. And I know that sounds so cheesy and so like woo-woo, but like it's true. You have to find the happiness within yourself first before you can, you cannot rely on you cannot rely on your circumstances to make you happy, or you will sabotage them, because you're going to realize they can't make you happy, and then you're going to think that it isn't the right thing for you, and in reality it's absolutely the right thing for you, but because it's not making you happy because you aren't already happy with yourself, then you start to sabotage it away. Immediate future for Pisces. So yeah, there's an attachment, but you're releasing it, and that's what I like to see. You're getting into more of a clear mind, finding that balance between your head and your heart, and now it's just kind of about having patience. There's that Ten of Pentacles in reverse again. Remember we had it. It was like that card of being a little bit unrealistic about the path to get there. With the Justice in reverse, you just need to be honest with yourself about why things had to happen the way they did, and also your role with them. That's not saying it's your fault. It's, it takes two. It always takes two. But if you can learn, because here's the thing, if you constantly give away your power to other people and you say, oh, this fell through because this person did this to me, Well, then what you're saying is this world can do whatever it wants to you and you are always a victim, which completely takes away your control and your power. But when you can start to realize the little ways that you've played roles in the fallout of things, or the whatever, whatever the situation is, you can start to realize that you're way more in control of your circumstances than you think you are. And it just comes down to realizing that it's about you not repeating cycles by making the same decisions, the actions that you typically take based on old belief systems, based on not believing you're good enough, based on insecurities. Immediate future for Pisces. King of Cups. I like that. Page of Cups with the King of Cups. This is about finding, and that's, I talked about that. There's that Ten of Pentacles in reverse again. It's about finding no, this is upright actually, right? Yeah, this is upright this time in this message. This is saying that your Ten of Pentacles, what you want, that long-term stability is absolutely possible. But it's not going to come from your material world. It's going to come from your emotional world. From getting getting full control over your emotions so that you have full control over your belief system. You can't control other people. You can't control other things. You can only control yourself. And I feel like that's what this reading is ultimately about. Okay. What are we taking action towards? What is Pisces taking action towards? That's the biggest thing I want to see. And I feel like it's that 10 of Pentacles. It's that long-term stability. That's exactly what it is. Okay, let me get a card about that. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so it's the opportunity for your 10 of Pentacles. So that's the perfect message. So you're taking action toward, because it starts with an ace, right? It starts with an opportunity, builds to the 10 of Pentacles. So you're taking the action that you will be taking towards is your Ace of Pentacles, is your opportunity for stability, but you have to surrender to it. And below that is the Two of Cups. And that comes back to what I was saying about finding that balance within yourself, learning to love yourself first. Love yourself first before anything and anyone else in your life. That's not selfish to do. That's actually the most selfless thing you can do, because that means you can only love others to the extent that you love yourself. You can only give energy to others to the extent you give that energy back to yourself. So what I'm saying here is really, really learning to put yourself first, because every time you do that, things will only work out for you. Because if you're putting out energy of, I love myself and I deserve good things, then the universe is always going to give you that energy back. So it's about taking this action towards your Ace of Pentacles, which becomes your 10 of Pentacles, but it's about doing it with a confidence of, I love myself first, and I'm going to make sure that every action I take is going to align with that truth. And that's where I feel like the truth that we were talking about here, not being able to see the truth, loving yourself first. Okay, advice card for Pisces. Advice card for Pisces. Nine of Swords in reverse with the Two of Pentacles. Release your anxiety. And I love this card. I hate that this is so far away and that there's a glare on it. But if you look at this card, you have it in reverse, but look at this card. She is so anxious, but everything that she's anxious about and worried about that's freaking her out isn't real. And so having it in reverse is realizing that the things that you're worried about, the things that have been weighing you down, they're not real. They're up here. Now, they're very much real to you, and that doesn't mean that they're not valid. It means that you have to realize that a lot of your worries and anxieties and fears about your future and your life, you've created up here. And you can create different things up here to find, with the Two of Pentacles, to find your balance here. All right, Pisces, I like this reading. It was in depth and it was a lot, but we got through it. Any information on a personal reading is in the description box below. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys next week, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Pisces.